Good morning. Good morning. Please be seated. All right. Isn't God good? Yeah. All right. God is so good. And the worship team is good too. All right. They work so hard. They invest so hard to prepare for Sunday morning. So we can appreciate them a little bit more. It's a good day. It's a good day. All right, my sermon this morning is titled, Called Out to Set a Precedent of Goodness. All right, so that's it, I'm done. All right. Do you like my outfit? It's good. Yeah. All right, it's good, right? All right. It's been a great week, but a very challenging week also. Yeah. So I think a lot of up and downs in our nation and at this moment. And right, so yeah, it's been so many kind of heartbreaking events and in the last week, and I think everyone feels it, right, in a way or another. So yeah, been praying about it, thinking about it, and yeah, so it's kind of hard to preach this morning, and because I feel I have to speak to it, but I have to speak to it with God's heart. So, please pray for me. But it would be great. Heavenly Parents' heart and Heavenly Parents' wish is to create what we call Chonilguk. Chonilguk translates literally for a word where two become one, or two become one. Then if we're to translate it in our Christian faith, we would say the kingdom of heaven on earth. This is the dream, this is the wish of Heavenly Parents. And recently, our founder, our co-founder, Holy Mother Anne, has expressed to the youth that we must grow to become like a beautiful tree that embraces the world, right? So we should become a garden of beautiful trees that embrace the world. It's a beautiful picture, right? If you paint it, that each one of us is a tall and beautiful tree that is called to embrace the world. It's a beautiful picture. I think that's the picture of the Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve are called to be the tree of life, a tree that gives life to the world, right? So that's the dream, that's the wish. However, when we look at the reality of the world, it doesn't reflect that dream yet. There is a lot of pain in the world, a lot of despair, a lot of suffering, and a lot of resentment too. And a lot of deep historical resentment in the world. And so this has been kind of God's reality, that there is a dream, but then there is a reality that doesn't match that dream. And so our founders, Reverend Sang Myung Moon, we refer to him as Father Moon, or True Father, and his wife, our True Mother, Holy Mother Anne. And really what has been revealed to them is that God, our Heavenly Parent, is a parent with a broken heart, a heart in pain because of the reality of the world, because of the reality of humanity. This is the reality of heavenly parents. And so when we think about the church, right, from its Greek original meaning, right, ecclesia, means a group of people called out, right? So it's a group of people, a congregation, a community called out. So the church is called out. So our challenge is that we are called out of this worldly reality to show a new reality to the world. Because how can the world do it unless someone shows them? The world cannot do it, for they don't know how to do it. The world does not know how to do it. So God looks for a people, a group of people that he calls out to show the model. So the church is called out to show the model, to lead the way in creating the original dream. This is the purpose of the church. Yeah. Right, so when I thought and prayed about the reality of this nation, I felt this is the time when the church can stand out. This is the time when the church can show a different reality to this nation. So it's hard, I know. Oh, it's really hard. At this time, our nation is divided. All right, and every day, every week, the nation is getting more and more polarized. And the temptation is so great to pick a side. Right? Do you feel that temptation? I feel it too. Right? Because there is an issue, you have to pick a side. So the temptation is so great to pick a side. But the church is called out of that temptation. If the church picks a side, or if those who have been called out pick a side, then who will lead the way? Then there is no hope. Wow, so that's why it feels like the tree that we are called to be is a tree that is growing out of a concrete floor. It's hard, right? But we have been called out for such a purpose as this. We have been called out for such a time as this. To show something different. So this is our calling. This is the purpose of the church. To show something different. So we must show a different example to the world. That gives hope. That shows the way. But if we pick sides, then we have lost our ability to lead the way. So the church is called to be a parent. The church is called to be a parent that embraces as the nation and calls the sons and daughters and reminds them that you are my children. You are my sons and daughters. This is the responsibility of the church. This is the calling of the church. To call the people to the reality of our heavenly parent. That we are sons and daughters. We are brothers and sisters. And this is the message that should resonate out of the church. Or I was saying sometimes people ask me for my political opinion, which I have. But I say to them, I'm not your political analyst. I am your pastor. I am your spiritual leader who is to guide you into what God has called the church to do. So don't ask me for my political position. And God has been holding these standards throughout human history. God has been holding these standards. So Father Moon, a true father, shares. God cannot destroy anyone. He cannot. I'm sure there are days when God feels like, I just want to finish with all this. I'm sick and tired of all this. But God cannot do it. God cannot destroy anyone. Why? Because God's created with the idea of love. God who desires to practice the love idea cannot pass judgment with his rod of iron. God can do it, but he won't do it. Right? So just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. You know, God is almighty, he's all powerful, he can do it, but he won't do it. And here's why. It is because he created with the idea of love. Therefore, even if that idea has not been realized, he cannot strike. If he were to strike, now listen to this, and left behind a tradition and habit of striking, there would be no way to resolve this. These days, there is a term called habitual, isn't there? In light of this, the absolute God must be able to bring about absolute enlightenment even without striking. Wow. This is the position that God, our Heavenly Parent, has been in. He cannot strike. How many of us felt the need to strike this week? How many of us felt the need to strike? All right. And I think by striking is not only with our hands, right? I know I'm wearing a military outfit today. Hey, but you know, we strike with our words. Don't you know that your words are like a sword? The words can cut sharply than a knife. So the Bible says, fear not those who kill the body. Fear not those who kill the flesh. Fear those who kill the spirit. And with our words, we can kill the spirit. How many of us felt the need to strike in such a way that we kill using our words? So we must always speak kind words. We must always speak loving words. This is why we are called out. We are called out to all on the standard of heaven, the standard of true love. This is the meaning of church. This is the purpose of church. To always speak in such a way that we give life. This nation needs life. It saddens me that the words spoken on the pulpit on Sunday morning do not convey the love of heaven. They are words that, the same words that the politicians are speaking, the religious leaders are speaking. The same words that those who do not know God are speaking are the same words that those who have been called out are speaking. Those who have been called out have a different language. It's the language of heaven, the language of true love. This is the calling of the church. And God, throughout human history, has been calling. This is the quest of heaven, to find the people who can set a precedent of true love, a precedent that when we feel hurt, we love anyways. When we feel betrayed, we love anyways. When we feel mistreated, or we feel let down, we can forgive. God has been calling for such a people who can set that kind of precedent. This is the calling of the church. To set a precedent of attendance, to set a precedent of goodness, to set a precedent of true love, to set a precedent of forgiveness. This is the calling of the church. And so throughout history, Heavenly Parents' heart has been always calling and asking, whom shall I send? Whom shall I call out to set this kind of precedent? Whom shall I call? Who shall go out and set this precedent on behalf of Heavenly Parent in this world? This has been the cry of heaven. This is the calling of Heavenly Parent. And it's calling sons and daughters who can set this kind of precedent. So God is calling for individuals, for families, for churches, for nations who can set this kind of precedent. A precedent of true love. And this is the path that Jesus followed. Jesus followed this path. Hanging on the cross. In deep pain. Hurting and being mocked by the people. Making fun of him and saying, if you are truly who you say you are, get yourself down from that cross. How much pain is that? Jesus felt so much pain in that moment. And he could have cursed the people. But instead, his prayer was that, oh, Heavenly Parents, oh God, please forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. They do not know what they are doing. This is the kind of precedent that Jesus set. And this is the kind of model that we have been called out to show to the world, where we can pray for those who persecute us. Just like Jesus prayed, Father, please forgive them. And you know, our true Father, Reverend Sang Myung Moon said, as Jesus complained, as Jesus held any sort of hatred, any sort of resentment in his heart, resurrection would never be possible. Well, we celebrate the resurrection, but it was only possible through forgiveness. The resurrection of this nation would only come through forgiveness. Well, our resurrections only come through forgiveness. If we can forgive those who have caused us pain, then resurrection will come. The resurrection of any marriage that needs healing would only come through forgiveness. The resurrection of any family that needs healing only comes through forgiveness. If we can forgive, then resurrection would be possible. And our true parent, our true father and true mother themselves have shown us this kind of example. They have set a precedent of forgiveness. When Kim Il-sung, the leader of North Korea, was seeking to kill them, they went to him and said, "You are our brother," and embraced him. And they melted his heart. He melted. You know, when it was time for him to go to spirit words, he left special words to his son, right? He said, "Don't trust anyone but Reverend and Mrs. Moon." But they didn't agree ideologically, and our founders made it clear to them that we don't believe that your ideology will bring about the unification of North and South Korea. That your ideology will bring about the unification of the world because it is centered on you. We believe what will bring about unification is the practice of true love centered on God. They made it clear. And yet, they embraced each other in true love. This is the precedent that we are called to set. The Unification Church is investing its utmost effort to create such people. We are making such diligent efforts in order to create a quality of faith that can represent tens of millions of people. You must make up your minds to give yourself as a fertilizer to liberate heaven and free your descendant from this evil world. Brothers and sisters, we are called to set a precedent. We are called to show an example to future generation that we forgive. The future generations can look back and say, this was a difficult time for America, but the church, but those called out by God, practice true love. So they know that when we are faced with challenges and difficulties, we practice true love. How would they know unless someone shows them? Someone must show them. Someone must set a precedent that we forgive, we love. This is the purpose of the church. So our true mother, Holy Mother Anne, has now proclaimed that this is the era of harmony and peace. This is the era of harmony and peace. Then she proclaimed that in this era the world needs peacemakers and reconcilers more than ever before. See, we have enough Republicans, we have enough Democrats, but this nation needs sons and daughters who can go out and practice the true love of heaven. This is what this world needs at this time. And this is what our true mother is calling us to practice. Let us become peacemakers. Let us become reconcilers. Where there is division, let us bring unity. Wow. Let there be hope. You know, I was debating whether I should say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. And you know, there is one clergy pastor who is very close to us, you know, and he shares a lot on his social media, and he shared something, right, in connection to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative kind of influencer, and somehow there were maybe 47 comments on his Facebook post, and they were all from our members disagreeing with each other, going back and forth about the fact of the matter, going back and forth about who is right and who is wrong. And then he came back and said, it is interesting to me that the people arguing on my Facebook post are all members of the Family Federation. Then he said, leave me alone or come and work with me in realizing the idea of true parents. I felt kind of ashamed, right? I felt kind of ashamed about that. But we have to show a different example. We have to show something different from the world. There is enough people arguing politics and not enough people representing the hearts of heaven. So I don't want, I've had my fair share of political arguments. And I don't want to do it anymore because I want to ask someone from the many back and forth that you have had with someone, how many hearts have you changed? You don't change someone's heart by arguing with them. It doesn't work. It does not work. And it's just set us apart. It just pushes us away from one another further and further. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So we have to speak a different language. We have to show a different example. So our calling is to reach out. We have to be the one who reaches out first. Let's reach out in true love. Let us be the people who show this kind of model. This is how we change the world. So our leading principles should be true love and forgiveness. These should be our leading principles. And if we can practice this, unity would come. Then the nation that we all long to see would come. But it does not appear based on political arguments. The politicians won't do it. The politicians won't do it. It is the blessed central families, those who have been called out by heaven, who will do it. So, brothers and sisters, I really hope that in these dark times, we can set a precedent of love, lead the world into an era of harmony and peace as our true mother is asking us to do. Also, I really hope this week we can go out with this kind of challenge that I want to touch at least 7 people's lives this week. I want to speak kind words to someone every day. Can you imagine if we do this is every day of the week? If we do this every day of our lives? How beautiful this world would be. So I hope the Chicago Family Church can be that church that leads the way in setting a precedent of true love. Please join me in prayer. Dear God, our Heavenly Parent, you have called us out to set a precedent of true love. You have called us out, Heavenly Parent, to set a new model for this world. You have called us out, Heavenly Parent, to be those who can lead this world into the realm of true love, into the loving reality of Chonilguk. And your heart is deeply longing for this day. For over 400 years, Heavenly Parent, you have led this nation, setting it up as a nation that can lead the world as an elder son nation. So we pray that truly we can make a new commitment, renew our commitment in front of you, in front of heaven, that we will lead the world in true love. We will lead the world in goodness. We will lead the world in forgiveness. And we will practice these things starting right here in our church community. That the Chicago community will rise and become such a community that shows the way and leads the way, oh Heavenly Parents. So I pray that these few words that were spoken here, conveying your heart, conveying the heart of our true parent, conveying the heart of Jesus, can find a place in the hearts of this congregation, can find a place in our hearts, oh Heavenly Parents, and grow to bear fruit. Fruits that we can show the world that this is the way of life that we must go. So lead us as we go through this new week. Let your presence be manifest in our lives, oh Heavenly Parents, and allow us to be the vessels for your true love. I want to pray these things in deep gratitude. In my name, Hebangja, a blessed central family attending our Holy Mother, Haju.